Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to actually focus on another top player. It's been a little while since we've done these, but they are incredibly popular on the channel because we kind of take a look at a top player and see kind of how they play the game, how they handle 1v3s, 1v4s, whatever the case is, and kind of dissect their gameplay and draw some tips from how they play the game. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Unrational, which is in the top 20 earners for Warzone. And I think a lot of that has to do not necessarily with skill, but just because his name wasn't big enough to compete in a lot of the tournaments earlier on when Warzone dropped. But now he's getting a lot more recognition and playing with a lot more notable players. And if you want to see more of Unrational, you can go ahead and check out his YouTube. Hopefully we can boost his channel up to like 7,500 subscribers. And if you want to go ahead and check him out live, he has streamed for the past 18 months consecutively without missing a day, which will also be linked down in the description. Let him know I sent you if you enjoy what you see. With that being said, if you enjoyed the video, learned something new, please do me a favor, hit the like button. If you're brand new, looking to find your way back, double check, make sure you are subscribed with notifications on. Also, just a heads up, it's currently 15% off using my special code JGOD15 for the Smacks pack. We're going to get 3 sample packs of Apple Smacks Kontrol meal replacement, which is great if you're one of those people that tends to skip breakfast or eat late night. And if you're looking to bundle in a shaker, that'll also be discounted as well, linked near the top of the description. Let's go ahead and get into it. So in this particular gameplay, you're going to see Unrational kind of split off the vast majority of the match, while OP Marked and Devious, which are 2 leaderboard grinders for wins, kind of just keeping the map alive, rotating early, focusing on positioning, while Unrational just handles himself doing several 1v2s, 1v3s, in the match. And you'll kind of see how everything plays out. Not everything goes perfect, but one of the things that's really nice about Unrational, he has a very aggressive play style that sometimes puts him in bad positions, but it does lead to some pretty impressive clips. Pretty much wiped out that team, lucky enough to pick up the Uzi, then ends up taking out the third guy. And that is one of the nice things I like about Unrational, is he does do some really over-the-top aggressive plays that for the most part they do pay off. Obviously not in every scenario, because this is a battle royale. There is a little bit of randomness. You are going to run into some people that have ghost, or maybe they pull off the nasty shot while you're running across the field. But in general, he pulls off some impressive plays, as we saw from the intro and as we're going to see throughout the gameplay. It's just a regular occurrence on his channels, whether it's YouTube or Twitch. And he ends up doing a lot of these challenge things from the community. They'll ask, hey, can you do this type of challenge? Get like just barehanded kills or something. And he still manages to pull that off. So it's wildly entertaining at the same time. It shows how skillful he is at the game. So obviously we got OP Marked and Devious. They're kind of racking up that multiplier. So by the time when maybe they're doing most wanteds, they'll be able to rack up tons more cash. So in calling UAVs, so he's going to have a little bit easier time pushing these teams at 1v3, knowing that they have a little bit more awareness, whether that's a super UAV with 3 UAVs, a single UAV, maybe he gets the opportunity to get bought back. We're going to kind of see how it all plays out. He does decide to pick up a Bertha, which is incredibly powerful regardless of the mode, unless you just run into a full quad, cavalry, barrels, and just absolutely melt you. But besides that, usually not a big deal. So it looks like he's rotating near super, which we've seen a lot of players, when they go for high kills, they tend to land super, and they walk out of there with 5 or 6 kills. That kind of eases that gap, trying to go for a 30 plus or whatever, and then you start to navigate around the map. Downside with supers tend to be, there's a lot of great games where maybe you could have gone on, but they just get completely ruined because you never actually made it that far, and you kind of wasted your opportunity to go to the gulag and stuff like that. So if you're actually trying to get a little bit more consistency, it's generally better to land somewhere else, and that'll increase your likelihood of making a late game where you can rack up more kills. He's currently already at 5. Obviously, he shot 1 guy out the air, 3 on the floor, and then rolled right up to this guy that was out in the open and chose an easy gunfight. So we're going to see kind of how he rotates. He does need to start to group up with them. They are working on the second recon, but by the time that this recon's over, they should have enough for a loadout, the free loadout. No, they already bought the loadout. So they already bought the loadout. That's one of the nice things with Train. Sometimes you can come out of there with like 7, 8K. You do 2 recons, you're pretty much good to go. So now he's rolling up to get his loadout. Should be able to get a UAV and then start to press teams. There is a buy near him, but there's also a buy up here where they bought the loadout. So they'll grab it, and then he'll be full on ready to start challenging teams. Obviously, when you're trying to go for high kills, and a lot of the top players what they are able to do is they generally take the meta and they're able to maximize and abuse it, and that really shows the potential of how broken the meta is and how big a gap there is. Obviously, like I said, he does plenty of challenges where maybe he runs in, he uses like pistol kills and he gets double digits easily with that, but obviously it's one of these things. So now you can see there's a team over here at Boneyard. They're at the buy station. You can see that they're all kind of huddled together. Usually when people huddle like that, they might have just called in their loadout, or they're in the process of it. So he's got to get one pick really easy. He needs to get a down. He does have dead silence to work with, which he may or may not pop, but ideally he's trying to get this one pick. The guy is rotating in the Bertha. He should be able to get this guy in the back as he rotates. He did grab that contract, and then he's going to be running out. Guy has no clue. He popped dead silence. He got the one kill. Thirst, so he doesn't get pinged. That guy doesn't have to worry about self-revive. And then now he's got to listen for audio cues as he pushes because the UAV ran out. So he's just trying to peek, look around, see what's going on. There is they got munitions as well, so they definitely have their loadouts. That guy went out there by himself. He's calling the UAV since he knows that they're still going to be on there. And he's going to be able to approach them. They are split enough where he should be able to get 2 simple, easy kills. And this is a lot of what solo trioing does, solo quads. You come up, the guy was pre-aimed. He ends up snapping out, taking advantage of that desync that happens that we've talked about. And FFAR just absolutely demolishes. He gets that first shot off. The other guy wasn't doing a good job of marking anyone, so it worked out really well. He took the angle. But we talked about that desync. You get the peeker advantage. Even when you have lower ping or higher ping, it doesn't matter. Generally in Warzone, because of the way the lag comp works, the latency, you get a lot of peekers advantage. So the aggressor generally has the advantage when they know where the person is. So for example, he knew where that person was because he was on the UAV. So he did a hard jump so he can know where he was, started already pre-aiming and firing at the guy while that guy had to react in addition to the desync. So a lot of the top players abuse that, and that's why generally when you watch them play, you're like, well, how do they make the gunfights look so easy? Well, because in reality, if you actually see the other player's perspective, he gets to see them land shots before the guy even sees them on their screen, and they abuse those mechanics. So top players learn that, and they learn how to take advantage of that. Whether they jump out, over peak, end up behind the player, already hip fire, land a couple shots before the guy even realizes they're being shot. That's kind of how that part happens as well. They are still racking up their contract multiplier. You can see it's already up to 5. And the next one will give them 6, and it just continues on. And there's a couple different reasons for that. We talked about that when we've broken down OP marked, iron, shaded step, bonk, different leaderboard grinders, how important the multiplier is for consistency of games, because you get your money. That allows you to continue buying UAVs. That allows you to buy your teammates back. That allows you to get self-revive. That allows you to get loadout. It just allows you to have the streaks you need, everything. So he knows there's 2 up here, and this is the perfect scenario because they are currently split. And he could push this knowing that, hey, you know what? If he loses the gunfight, he can get a chance to get bought back. He actually hit markered the dude before it actually went off. Then he's going to cut across and then come up, and they're thinking that maybe he's still holding the stairs. He knows the guy's to the right. He got it easy down there. He jumps out. And that's one of those examples where I was talking about. He comes out so fast. A lot of times with the doors, watch any, if you go, I'm pretty sure Attach has a good video on it, and a couple other pros where they talk about how, for Modern Warfare, the pro scene, how to abuse doors. What happens is the player that's breaking out the door, they actually turn and they can see the person before the door even slams open. And that's why a lot of pro players slam through the doors like that, because there is a huge desync that gives the aggressive player the advantage. That's why that guy, by the time he reacted, it was already like he got shot a bunch. He knew where he was. He jumped out, played aggressive, and the door breaking happens way after. And by saying way after, maybe like 100, 200 milliseconds after the other player sees it on their screen. So they just play it like that. So there's 3 people on this over here. Looks like 2 up top because they have those little triangle arrows up top. So he's able to snap on that guy. The UAV gives all that information. He's in a very bad spot. He did manage to deal enough damage to down that guy. Maybe the other guy's going to cut across the res. This guy's going to push him. He ends up peeking him, taking him out. And then now he knows that he's probably decent. He just has to worry about one more peeker and this car that's coming around the side. They kept going. All right, so he's good. So he has to worry about the guy he downed, which likely got rezzed. And then this guy right in front of him. Oh, he jumped down. You can see him across. He jumped up top. I didn't hear that audio cue. Obviously, there's a little bit of talking in the background, so it makes it a little bit cluttered. If you guys actually want to see this full-length gameplay without my commentary, some people say, well, I'd love to just hear the gameplay. He does have it on his channel. It'll be linked in the description as well if you just want to see that. Because obviously, I'm talking the entire time. You're not going to hear all the comms. I'm going to reference stuff. That's perfectly fine. You can watch this one, my version, and then you can go watch their version so you can hear every little nuance if you want to hear what was going on in the moment. But I'm breaking down what I'm seeing pretty much live as it's happening. So now he's got to go ahead and rotate over, try and get a UAV. One of the teammates, oh, they're dying. Oh, they ended up clutching up the kills. They are sitting at like 20,000. It's pretty good. He did spot the guy right on the edge of silo. He's hoping the guy's going to peek. There's another one. He heard him down low. He's like, oh, man. And I've actually watched this full-length gameplay, parts of it. I've kind of skimmed through it. You're going to see a kind of a funny thing that I had to stop and look at. I'm pretty sure it's in this gameplay. Once he takes this guy out, we'll see.
Laughing at this guy's face, dude, and gets shot by an AUG.
There it goes. He's going to peek. Plates up instantly. And a lot of times that's what we see is people do instantaneous, like, plates up. Oh, he's got to come back to his building later, I believe. So either way, he comes up. There's a Bertha rolling up to the buy. They might have no clue what's going on. That might be unrelated. They ended up buying someone back. He's going to be able to shoot the driver's seat. Easy. If the guy would have got it down, this is a hard spot. Not enough bullet penetration. He did get a hit marker there. The guy is in the sky. This is before they ruined the drop downs. Easy. Oh, almost. Those are very hard shots, especially after the AUG got nerfed. Bullet velocity is not the most amazing, but it's also a little bit harder just to hit those shots. So it must be later in this match he comes back. He's like, where's the UAV? And a lot of stuff is built off the UAVs if you're trying to hunt kills, because if you know where someone's at, even if you're playing super aggressive, generally you have better gun skill. And you're able to just play the game the right way. So the guy jumped into the other building. We'll see how aggressive he takes this. The guy probably doesn't know. Oh, he missed the window. So now he's going to come up. And let's see kind of how he jumps into here. Did he think the guy jumped down? Yep, the guy did jump down. He saw, heard, and was able to take that guy pretty much one shot. He could play it super aggressive. And you can see how he ends up almost behind the guy. And the guy is like so slow to react. It's because on that guy's screen, he doesn't even see him out the doorway yet. That's kind of what is so broken about movement in general. And that's what, like, for example, JGOD does a lot of. Even though sometimes it's excessive movement. You know, he's kind of known as the movement king. But a lot of that has to do with that. Breaking people's, like, cameras. And pro players have been doing it for years. And that's even on LAN. With peer-to-peer, like, connected on LAN. Wired connection. You can still abuse that. So imagine when you put this into a battle royale with a higher normal than tick or lower than normal tick servers than multiplayer, you end up with some issues. So here's what happens. So he's going to go through here. He ends up spotting this guy on the right. You can see his legs slip through, and he ends up instantly demolishing. If he didn't see that guy's leg, he might have taken that a little bit more passively. You can see the dude's knee going through the ground. So do not lay prone in this building. It's paper thin, and apparently your knees can slip through, and people can wall bang through that. So I would not do that. You probably also get aim assist in that spot if their knees clipping through. There's several areas of the maps where people clip through. That's one of those Z-Laner clips that I showed over on Twitter, where you get aim assist through certain parts of buildings just because your character model actually, like, blends through it, so it actually cuts through that area. And that's just something you got to be aware of when you're playing. There are just areas where your body clips through, and regardless if you're on controller, keyboard and mouse, console, anyone can shoot through that and anyone can see it. It doesn't matter, but you do actually get some aim assist through it because the character model is literally clipping through. So he's still sitting on a UAV. He's going to come loot this guy. Doesn't really have much. You can see somebody got bought in the distance. And Devious ends up holding this most wanted. And you can see he's getting 8,400 each time. And there's actually a couple different things leading back from what I was talking about. They did enough of those recons. So now that when you do one of those, you get 8,400, which is essentially enough to buy back your teammate. It brings back your teammate if they happen to be dead. You get UAVs. You can get enough for a loadout if you can combine money. That dude just got so aggroed on him while he was getting in the heli. The guy has no clue where he is. He's able to have a chance to plate up. The guy has ghost below him. And that stun actually stopped the heal, which is pretty important sometimes. If you have somebody that you think is going to res, heal up, if you stun them at the right time, they will not heal. This guy's just getting beamed from across the way.
No shot.
Maybe the guy wasn't underneath, but he did. He rotated out to go to the buy. You can hear the buy go off. Instantly destroys that dude, gets shot in the back. Ended up being a 2v1. So automatically 11 seconds later, like I said earlier, the most wanted is going to come into play where he's going to be able to get the teammate brought back. They do and will have enough for a loadout. Super easy. So especially if you have people that want to play a little bit more passive, or you guys take turns where maybe one guy wants to solo it, you guys can call UAVs for them. It makes it really easy. But the players obviously got to be good enough to handle 1v3s pretty regularly. Hard to see. I didn't really watch the kill cam when I don't even think he did. He's already up at 20 kills, which is pretty nuts. And there's still 35 players left. So they got the Berthas. They're going to be calling in the loadout. They come in, clean up the kill. Pretty easy. The guy had floor loot, so yeah, nothing special there. And then look at the money they have. He's going to be able to get a self-revive, 12,000 each. They're sitting on like $28,000. Super easy. And these are things that he's done and prepared for anyways, because he competes in a lot of 2v2 wager matches. He competes in 2v2 tournaments, where pretty much you're required to split off and handle 1v quad or like 1v4 or like solo quad the lobby with money on the line. And that's just one of those things with wagers. You cannot afford to lose. So he's getting into a lot of these situations where he's done really well and kind of built that name and kind of gained a little bit more recognition, where a lot of people like Huskers or whoever else are playing with him and competing with this thing. So he comes up, gets the kill, throws a stun, he comes out. He's going to probably be in a little bit of a tricky spot here. That's why he kind of backs off. Guy's throwing nades. He's getting played up. And then you can kind of see where the guy is on the minimap. And a lot of that movement, he's waiting for the guy to shoot. Maybe the guy hits him once. But at the end of the day, he's trying to get an exact location of where this guy is looking. He comes up, loots the body. Now he's going to take probably a different angle. Just trying to listen to see where this guy is. The guy actually backed off. There it is. Nice, clean shots. Came through, shot, slide canceled into it, landed the shots. He could see the guy. The guy probably couldn't see him in the shadows. Drop shots, destroys this dude. There's going to be another one most likely. Unless he got bought back. I couldn't hear the buy. And one thing that we've talked about when players are going for high kill games like we're seeing now, a lot of times the efficiency of the gunfight is incredibly important. We see this where they get right into the gunfight and they get right out of the gunfight. It's not like they're over there like, oh, is the guy up there? Let me walk up the stairs slowly. Nope, I'm going to avoid that gunfight and I'm going to get into gunfights that I know I can get into and get out of really quickly. One, because you save plates. Two, you save ammo. And three, you're less likely to get third-partied or have other people shoot you if you're not finishing people off. This guy just got in a gunfight. You can see the edge of his body jump this way. He's probably going to jump back over. So pretty easy pre-aim. That guy's demolished. He does have a team. It didn't look like he was selfing, so he might have someone nearby. Somebody just called in a UAV. There it is. Snapped and got on him. There's probably one more because that wasn't a team wipe. So he's peeking on the edge, and this is the guy running. Nice little burst there. That guy's behind a rock. Probably had a plate up or gas mask animation because he just got hit by the gas. Easy little wipe there, up to 26 kills, still with, what is that, 18 players left.
I don't know who your friends were, Bela. Sorry.
So that pretty much, that area of the map is fairly cleared. They still have a decent amount of money. If they wanted to pull together, they can get 2 UAVs over there. Or he can get to a position where he kind of meets up with his team and then they just play for a win. Even though they have superior like positioning most likely, he's going to come up here in third party. You can see these 2 people fighting. Third partying is huge when you're trying to go for kills. Because if you see gunfire on the map because somebody doesn't have a suppressor, that's usually a good thing in a couple different ways. One, meta weapons generally have a suppressor. If they don't have a suppressor, then that means they probably have floor loot. On top of that, if they are on the map and you see the gunfire, the actual positioning, obviously you can hear it, but sometimes it's hard to pinpoint it. But when it pops up on your mini-map, you get a pinpoint mark, and that's why they've marked it on the map. And pretty much you know you can push those. And if there's 2 people fighting, that means they're either going to be low plate. You got to try and get in a good positioning. They're going to rotate towards you. He got sniped. He's going to self-revive. Should be good. But you can see over there, there's a Bertha, there's a car. And then where they have to rotate up top, really there's only going to be the guy up top. He still has a precision, which is going to hopefully come in clutch. Damn, he got hit again.
I'm not back so marked.
They're too far away. I don't think they'll be able to roll up and res him. Maybe they will.
Are you safe enough to...
No. They'll just have to buy him back. I never even saw the guy who was sniping him. He probably had a no-glint sniper. Obviously, that looked like a variable zoom the way the guy zoomed in. He probably just had the no-glint sniper before everyone realized that was no-glint. So easy buyback. Pretty straightforward. Nothing much you can do about that particular situation because you couldn't even see the guy on the screen. It's kind of unfortunate. Loadout is still here because they didn't end up grabbing it when they got the loadout earlier. Since they already had the 2 loadouts. Comes out, they mark them. Easy little kill there. And then we know that there's still at least 1 guy on the right. I didn't look close enough at the kill cam to see if there was any of his teammates around. But we know that there are people over there. Easy gas mask, plate box, satchel. Fully decked out and has his weapons back. If you want to get a second set of perks, whether it be for ghost or restock, you can go ahead and go over there. High alert. There's a lot of good options for perk 2.
Running right. He's in the mongoose.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
There's so much free for us.
I got weak on the goose.
There it is. It's a little hard to shoot. He potatoed all his shots there. That happens too with, like I said, with the AUG. The bullet velocity is nowhere near what it used to be. And with the recoil, and then it doesn't match what the M16 had in Season 1, which was completely broken. Just not a lot of people knew about it. So he came, got the res. That is going to lead to another extra kill.
He's on right here.
Whoa. Instantly snapped on that dude.
Oh, I got sniped.
He got sniped from behind. It's all good. They'll be able to revive him here. One thing that is crazy is obviously the top players, generally all of them have gun skill, but a lot of times how they get so many kills comes down to how fast they play the game. Most people don't even realize how fast players are playing until you actually played with them. I've played with a lot of top players, and when you get into these lobbies where they're trying to go for a lot of kills, they are moving. Their looting phase, they kill someone, they don't even almost loot the body unless they need ammo, but generally they just keep moving and moving and moving and moving, and the tempo is something that people just do not realize how fast it is, and it's incredibly difficult to understand and to replicate if you do not understand exactly what's happening. How fast they're moving, especially when they play with other talented players. You don't realize how big a difference it is if you have like a 1 KD player in a lobby with a 3+ KD or whatever 4 KD player, where they're able to just fly around the map. So 3v1, pretty easy lobby at this point, because they had UAVs most of the time. He did get hit by a couple ghost snipers, stuff like that. But overall, a pretty solid match. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comment section. Is there another top player you'd like me to go ahead and react to? So definitely go ahead and check out his socials, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch, where he live streams daily. If you enjoyed the video, please do me a favor, hit the like button. If you're brand new, want to find your way back, double check, make sure you are subscribed with notifications on. If you're looking to get restocked up or maybe try that new flavor of Kontrol, definitely use code JGOD15 at checkout on the link near the top of the description. Appreciate all the support and content. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.